The first thing I'm noticing when I'm looking at NQ for all of my futures traders, there's definitely a lot of weakness in the market. If you don't know who I am, my name is EQ. Welcome to EQ Trades. I've taught over 1,000 people how to trade in the last few years, and I want to show you what I'm seeing on the charts this week for NQ specifically and going into the end of Q4. Now, based on current price action on the daily chart, we can see we are showing lower highs at the moment. And although volume is inflowing on the shorter time frames, this is still an outflow of volume, even though we are still sitting relatively bullish because we're over the zero mean on the volume flow indicator. Now, when I zoom in here on the daily, you can see we're just crossing into a bearish crossover based on the crossover strategy. This is our main trading strategy that we use in the EPIQ trading floor. You can also see that we're relatively overbought on the MACD, not super overbought, but relatively overbought. And the same thing based on the CCI, we're already showing those signs of exhaustion. And you'll notice over here, this negative 27. I'm going to explain this a little bit too. What this is going to be a take profit 1 point from a Fibonacci play. Now this Fibonacci has been tracked from basically March of 2020. We had a nice impulse move going into December of 2021. The market pulled back going into the end of 2022, which we can see was a 6180 retest at about 10,644. Which then created a really strong impulse move through 2022, which what we've seen going into the end of 2024. Now, based on the Fibonacci extension and retracements, this does have the probability and the likelihood of getting up to 23,000. If price in the market really wanted to swing up that direction, we can see there is inflow of volume. It is relatively bullish, but at the same time, it is downtrending. And you can see based on the MACD as well, we are definitely overbought. The last time we were in this zone was in 2021 before the major sell-off, and we're just in this zone, if not a little bit more overbought currently than when we were previously at 2021, which you can see how that played out. I can use a little price range for us real quick just to see that drop. Lost about 36% in total market, which is a lot. But because we are pushing up to these take profit zones on the monthly, I'm looking for this as, like I'm saying, take profit zones. Now we're still in a bullish crossover on the monthly. So like I was saying, this does have the probability and a high potential of getting up to 23K. But what I'm watching for is a little bit more weakness in the market. As you can see, basically on the daily, we are in that rising wedge. But when you see a rising wedge kind of playing out, especially on a long-term play like this, I'm going to be looking more to the downside. So from here, what I like to do is zoom into the 4 hour, and then we'll go to the 1 hour. We can see on the 4 hour, we are getting into a bearish crossover again. And like I mentioned before, when we see that bearish crossover, one of the first things we see is going to see an LRC resistance test if it's bearish. And currently we are holding price action on this LRC resistance. And we're also maintaining not only a double top, but this downtrending resistance. And we can get an even closer look on the hourly. We can see the VRVP is currently sitting at about 20,220. Now there is a little bit of room on the MACD and CCI on the shorter terms if this wanted to play to the top side and maybe test liquidity somewhere, maybe from 20,400 to 20,600. You can see the probability as well, with the volume still maintaining relatively bullish over the zero mean. But as these resistances hold, they're going to continue to get stronger and stronger as price action continues to confirm that it does not want to pass this point, and that the selling pressure is satisfied basically at this 20,500 range. Even if we zoom out to the 3-day, we can see bearish crossover, and when you see the candles playing to the bullish side, even though we're in a bearish crossover, that is a high probability of a fake out in this zone. Now, if this did want to break out to the top side, what I'd be looking for is either a double top or a regular bullish divergence. So if this did want to break out, what I'd be looking for next would be a double top and find a resistance there. Or I'd be waiting to see if maybe we can find a regular bearish divergence somewhere through the process. Now, if you want to learn how to trade or you want to come trade with me, make sure to check out the EPIQ trading floor. That does come with a 3-day risk-free trial. And that comes with our community, academy access, trade signals, and all of my trades that I get into publicly. If you do have any questions as well, please drop them in the comment section, and I'll make sure to get to them as fast as I can. And if it's a good enough question, which obviously they're all good questions, but some are a little bit more worthy of a video. If it's video worthy, I'll make sure to film a video for it. I hope you all have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on wherever you're tuning in the world, and I'll see you on the next one.